Hi, this is Scott with Android Guys, and I'm here with Luke.
Hey, everybody.
Luke, let's talk about Total Wireless.
Yeah.
And let's talk more specifically about their phone selection.
Sure.
And figure out what are some of the best phones for listeners who may be considering Total Wireless or may already have Total Wireless service and think, I need a new phone.
Sure.
So what we're doing here is part of a series ongoing to kind of look at different carriers and figure out what are the best phones based on certain user types.
Yeah.
Not what are the top performance devices? What are the ones with the most hardware?
Yeah.
Somebody says, these are my needs. You don't immediately say, oh, you need this.
Right.
Because it's the most expensive phone.
Right.
So there are different needs, different types of users, and everybody's got a little bit different thing that they do with their device. So what we've done is distill this down into really 3 options.
Yeah.
And we've kind of broken that into what is the best phone for somebody on the low end who doesn't have too much demand.
Sure.
They just want something that says, I want to be able to use my phone, but I don't care about latest and greatest cutting edge. Sure, I want a pocket camera with me. I want something I can play music, watch YouTube videos, and maybe chat with some friends. But other than that, that's about it for me.
Yeah. What's that reliable phone that's going to do everything a phone should do, but it's not going to break the bank because, phone is not the most important thing in my life.
Yep.
Yeah. So that one for us, this is one that's not available from a lot of different MVNOs that we've seen. And when it pops up on a list of available, this is one we usually gravitate towards because it's an all-around great phone for the price. This is the Motorola Moto G Pure. And this phone, it comes in at $59.99, which is completely affordable for what you get. So this phone has 5G data. So that's one thing. Most entry-level phones now we're seeing, you kind of have to choose between 4G connectivity and 5G connectivity. And usually that 5G connectivity comes with a price point. But the Pure gives you that 5G. It's got a 6.5-inch screen. It has multiple cameras. You got a front camera, and then you have 2 cameras on the back. It has 32 gigs of internal storage with 3 gigs of RAM for running everything. A good, I don't know the actual milliamp.
4,000.
4,000?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's got a 4,000 milliamp battery. That's going to get you, get you a day, no problem. Probably 2 days for doing, kind of everything you want to do. It's got water repellent design. So it kind of ticks a lot of those little features of things that you would want your phone to have. These aren't features that you're like, these are the best features available on the market, but this is for a phone that comes in at $60. This is a great phone for the money. Yeah,
it's a pretty current version of Android. Big screen, generous battery, couple of cameras. That's what, those are usually the first things that people start to ask for.
Right.
And then you're looking at, a price point that is just really unfathomable.
Right.
Considering you and I have dropped a lot more money on phones.
Absolutely.
In the past and haven't picked up this much. For the entry level, we're picking the Motorola G Pure for $60. That's an easy one for us.
Yeah.
So let's go to the other end of things.
Sure.
And see what we have for somebody who says, okay, I am a little bit more discerning user. I like to play games. I do care about taking really nice photos. I do want something that's going to look great when I do these things.
Sure.
I want something that, I like a phone that's got, an interesting design and color. I care about the aesthetics of the phone. I want something that's going to be supported with multiple years of software updates. I care about today, but I also care about tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm okay spending a little bit of money if I know I'm getting the latest and greatest that's gonna last for a while.
Yeah.
So if we're talking about the flagship or kind of what's the best phone you can get right now from Total Wireless, for that one we went with the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra 5G. Now that phone comes in just black. They don't have any of the other colors available, but man, this phone it does it all. It's got 128 gigs of internal storage with 12 gigs of RAM. It's got a 5,000 milliamp battery, a 6.8-inch display that has 120 hertz refresh rate. You have a ultra wide 12 megapixel camera. Your main camera is 108 megapixel with a 10 megapixel 10 times zoom lens, and then a front facing camera. This one will shoot 8K video. It's got fast charging. It has power sharing, so you can charge other devices.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah, runs Android 11. It does everything. It really does, and it's not the most current of the S series. So the S21 Ultra 5G is, there's the S22, but between the 21 and the 22, you're not really gaining that much. It's definitely an improvement. The 22 is better than the 21, but not by much.
Right.
So it's not the latest and greatest, but it is definitely a great phone. But it comes with a price, right? So that one comes in at $1,200. Now they do have an option. You can do a payment plan for as low as $50 a month. If you want to pay for your phone as you go. But yeah, this is a phone that's going to get you high-speed data, beautiful photos, beautiful video, tons of battery.
It also has support for Samsung's S Pen.
It does, yeah.
So and that's one of the differences with the 22 Ultra is it comes with.
Right.
Whereas this one, it's compatible with. So if later on you're like, hey, man, I can actually really use this thing for work.
Right.
I can, jot down notes real quick, and the software lets me use this kind of like as a computer. I'm able to run all my business out of my car, out of my pocket.
Right.
This is an amazing little package.
Yeah.
As they say, a nice piece of kit.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So the Galaxy S21 Ultra 5G, as you mentioned, it's about $1,200. So that's going to be on the high end of things. And then somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Let's find something that says, hey, I have a really interesting package of a phone that ticks a lot of those boxes, but it doesn't have some of the finer details that you mentioned.
Sure.
It doesn't maybe, I can't do the S Pen if I wanted to. I like the big screen and the battery, but I don't care so much for maybe power sharing.
Right.
Refresh rates, something that's important, but not a deal breaker.
Sure.
I like storage. I like the space. I like, I like the peace of mind if I found the right phone saying, okay, I'm willing to spend this much on something if it's going to get me what I really want out of that. So for the best all-around package, Luke, what do we have?
So the all-around one, it's interesting because this phone, if we just got done talking about the S21 5G, you get to this one and you're like, that sounds almost exactly like that phone.
Yeah.
But then you talk about the price and it's a fraction of the price. So this is the Samsung Galaxy A53 5G. So this one still has 5G data. It has the 128 gigs of internal storage. This one is able to use a micro SD card, though. Yeah. And you can get up to a terabyte more storage. This one has a nice fast processor. Now it has half the RAM at 6 gigs of RAM, so it's not going to be doing as fast of computing, but you're still going to get a 6.5-inch Super AMOLED screen that still has that 120 hertz refresh rate.
Yeah, games are going to look nice. Video's going to scroll.
It's not going to be as fast. If you're playing those games, they might, depending on the game, you might have a touch of lag, but it still will run almost anything. And you're going to have a really nice front-facing camera and a main camera and a wide camera and a macro camera. It's got multiple cameras for that. It has the 5,000 milliamp battery, so you're going to have that same battery as the S22, but
it's fast charging too.
And it's fast charging, but that processor isn't as fast, so that 5,000 milliamp battery is going to last longer on the A53 than it will on the S22. Yeah. I'm sorry, the S21. But yeah, so this phone, all of that sounds really great. When you tell the price at $259,
yeah, right,
it sounds even better.
Like, wait a second, what's the difference in $700 more?
Right.
Why go? And that's really what the argument is here for this sweet spot phone is. We imagine that this is the phone that most people would be more than happy to have.
Sure.
And if they can keep the extra hundreds of dollars in their pocket, then why not?
Yep.
This Galaxy A series has really come on strong over the last few years, has done quite well for Samsung, not just in the US, but overseas with a lot of carriers, a lot of consumers. It's just one of those things that says, man, that's what I need. That's all I want.
Yep.
And I could keep the money. I don't. $260, Luke.
It's hard to beat that.
Yeah,
it really is.
It is. We've dropped 3 times as much for phones not that long ago.
Right, that are marginally better.
Yeah. So that's our best all around option at Total Wireless. So now they do also offer a sizable number of reconditioned phones.
They do,
refurbished. Yeah. If none of these phones sound right to you, or if you start with that and think, well, is there a way I could save maybe a little bit of money on that?
Right.
There may be a reconditioned one available as well. And those are certified. Those are going to be, backed by a degree of warranty and coverage.
Yep.
That is something that, you may also want to consider. But another thing is, if you bought your phone directly from the phone maker, there's a ton of carriers out there providing them direct to consumer in unlocked manners.
Yeah.
And then if you also decide, hey, you know what, I think I'm ready to switch to Total, but I'm not really ready to make a phone decision yet. You can also probably bring the phone that you have to them as well. A lot of people are going to be compatible with that. So that is 3 of the best phones from Total Wireless as of summer 2022. If you have any feedback, or if you have a particular model you think that we would recommend or should check out, we'd love to hear from you. Otherwise, we appreciate you listening, and have an awesome day.
Thank you.
All right, that's going to do it for this episode of the podcast.
Thanks for listening.
We appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, feedback, concerns, comments, anything, shoot us an email at podcast@AndroidGuys.com. We'd love to hear from you one way or the other. Luke, if someone wants to get a hold of you, how do they do that?
I am on Instagram and Twitter at Luke Gaul, Gaul.
And I'm on Instagram at Scott Webster and Twitter as SWebster77. Until next time, thanks for listening.
See ya.